Chair Pallone, Chair Doyle, Ranking Member McMorris-Rogers, Ranking Member Latta, thank you for having me here today. I am Rashad Robinson, President of Color of Change, the nation's largest online racial justice organization. I also co-chaired the Aspen Institute's Commission on Information Disorder, which just released our comprehensive set of recommendations for effectively tackling misinformation and disinformation. I want to thank this committee and its leaders for your work, introducing the Justice Against Malicious Algorithm Act, the Safe Tech Act, the Civil Rights Modernization Act, and the Protecting Americans from Dangerous Algorithms Act. Each one is essential for reducing the tech industry's harmful effects on our lives. Congress is rightly called to major action when an industry's business model is at odds with the public interest, when it generates its greatest profits only by causing the greatest harms. Big tech corporations like Facebook, Amazon, and Google maintain near total control over all three areas of online life: online commerce, online content, and online social connection. To keep control, they lie about the effects of their products, just like big tobacco lies about the deaths their products cause. They lie to the public, they lie to regulators, and they lie to you. Mark Zuckerberg lied to me personally more than once. It's time to make the truth louder than their lies, but skip the part where we wait 40 years to do it. The most important first step is something we have more control over than we think, and that is drawing a bright, clear line between fake solutions and real solutions. Big tech would love for Congress to pass laws that mimic their own corporate policies. Fake solutions that are ineffective, designed to protect nothing more than their profits and their power. And we can't let that happen. We know it's a fake solution if we're letting them blame the victims by shifting the burden of solving these problems to consumers, because consumer literacy or use of technology is not the problem. The problem is corporations' design of technology, and that is what we need to regulate. If we're pretending that colorblind policies will solve problems that have everything to do with race, because algorithms, advertisers, moderators, and bad advertisers are targeting Black people, and we don't get closer to the solution by backing away from that problem. If we're putting trust in anything big tech corporations say, because it's a lie that self-regulation is anything other than complete non-regulation. And it's a lie that this is about free speech, when the real issue is regulating deceptive and manipulative content, consumer exploitation, calls to violence, and discriminatory products. Section 230 is not here to nullify 60 years of civil rights and consumer safety law, no matter what any billionaire from Silicon Valley comes here to tell you. There are three ways to know we are heading towards real solutions. Laws and regulations must be crystal clear. Big tech corporations are responsible and liable for the damages and violations of people's rights that they not only enable, but outright encourage. That requires well-vetted and targeted amendments to Section 230. You are responsible for what you sell. Big tech corporations sell content. That is their main product. Congress must allow judges, juries, regulators, and government enforcers to do their jobs, to determine what's hurting people and stop it, and hold the responsible parties liable. Responsibility without accountability isn't responsibility at all. Congress must enable proper enforcement. I want to applaud this committee for ensuring that the Build Back Better legislation includes funding for the FTC. The next step is making sure the FTC hires staff with true civil rights expertise. Laws and regulations must be crystal clear. Big tech products must be subject to regulatory scrutiny and approval before they're released onto the public and hurt people. Just like a drug formula should be approved by the FDA, tech products need to pass inspection, an independent auditing process that exposes what they would like to hide. But regulators can't fall for shifting the burden and blame to consumers. The lie that we simply need to put more control in the hands of users is like stacking our supermarket shelves with poison and expiring food and then saying we are simply giving consumers more choice. Congress must take antitrust action seriously with big tech. Ending their massive concentration of power is a necessary condition to ending the major damage they cause. The right approach is not complicated if we make the internet safe for those who are being hurt the most. It automatically makes the system safe for everyone. And that is why I am here. Because big tech puts Black people and people of color in danger more than anyone else. Passing and enforcing laws that guarantee freedom and safety for Black people in online commerce, content, and social connection will create the safest internet for the largest number of people. You can make technology the vehicle for progress that it should be, and no longer the threat to freedom, fairness, and safety it has become. Do not allow the technology that is supposed to take us into the future drag us into the past. Thank you. Right now, we are all in this situation where we have to go to Facebook and ask for their benevolence in dealing with the harms on their platforms. Going to billionaires where every single day their incentive structure is growth and profit over safety, integrity, and security. And so we've done this before with other industries. Congress has done this before in this country with other industries, where we create rules that actually hold them accountable. And right now, whether it is their product design on what they recommend and what they lead you to, or it is in the paid advertisement and content, Facebook is completely not accountable. And the other thing that I think is incredibly important is that they believe that they do not have to adhere to civil rights law. They've said that before Congress, they've said that to us, and the idea that we are going to allow Silicon Valley companies and their lawyers to come here and say that there are some laws that they are accountable and some laws they are not is outrageous. And I think that those targeted amendments to Section 230 both allow for free speech to exist, which any civil rights leader in this country will tell you that we value and believe in free speech, while also having accountability for things that are absolutely not about free speech. We've seen Facebook allow advertisers to exclude Black people from housing, exclude women from jobs, creating these sort of personalized algorithms that give people experiences that actually take us outside of hard-won and hard-fought victories we've had around laws, dragging us from the 21st century back to the 1950s. And your bill, as well as other pieces of legislation that are before this committee, hold these institutions accountable to not be immune to a whole set of laws and standards that every single other business in this country has to adhere to. When it comes to the amplification of hate, big tech is profiting off of yelling fire in a crowded theater. And so I understand that we have these conversations about the First Amendment, but there are limitations to what you can and cannot say. This is about ensuring that if you say things that are deeply liable, if you incite violence, if you incite hate, that you can be held accountable for that. And that if you are recommending folks to that and you are moving people through paid advertisement and your business model is amplifying that there is accountability baked into it. The fact of the matter is that the technology of the future is dragging us into the past because platforms have been given this idea and have been given these laws to believe that they are immune for a whole set of laws that people died for in this country to put on the books. And now we are sort of re-arguing and re-engaging around whether or not it is okay to discriminate against people in housing, employment, and data. These are things that should have already been settled, but now the technology of the future is dragging us into the past.